Hey there guys, how are you? Welcome back to another awesome video. And seeing how 2 days ago it was Robin Williams' birthday, I figured let's talk about Awakenings. Why Awakenings? No particular reason, just figured to talk about a Robin Williams movie. And speaking of which, Awakenings is based on a true story and has Robin Williams play this doctor who's basically trying to help cure Parkinson's disease. So this movie is directed by Penny Marshall, who you might know from she's done movies like A League of Their Own and Big, and probably a few other Tom Hanks movies, but that's mainly the core ones she's done and everything. So let's obviously just get into the nitty gritty of this and whatnot. So Robin Williams, yes, he definitely gives a chuckle here and there, but that's not why he's kind of here. He's not meant to be like the funny man. He's meant to be more serious. He's more dramatic. And some people may know this, and some people may not know this, but Robin Williams, even though he's a great actor, he's a phenomenal actor, and he's great at doing stand-up, he's great at doing comedy in all sorts of, in that sorts of form of comedy and comedic timing. He's great at it. He's phenomenal. That's his best thing, and that's where he is at his core. But the real stuff that really also makes him great is his drama performances and his dramatic roles. Especially when you see movies like Good Will Hunting, and Insomnia, especially Insomnia. And this is definitely one that, although like I said, he does have a few chuckles here and there that get you laughing, his character is just, he's such a, like, he has a soft heart. It just makes you smile, and just how much he's like really persistent and determined to try and find a cure for this disease. And and kind of without saying a lot about Parkinson's, it's basically kind of where your brain just kind of just doesn't function anymore. Your body's physically still here, but your brain is not where it used to be, if that makes sense. I'm not a doctor, sort of describing how diseases are, but that, in a sense, that's how Parkinson's kind of works. And you can really feel for how much his character wants to pursue this. And even when he's in a bad, even when his character has to basically agree with something you may not like, you still like his character. You don't hate him. You don't hate Robin Williams. It's hard to hate a Robin Williams character or a Robin Williams movie, to be honest. There's some that are an exception or unfortunate, but this one, you realize that he's not being a bad guy, even in some circumstances later on in the movie. Especially with how kind-hearted his character is, and how he just warms your heart, really. He just gives off a warm-hearted, performance. And Robert De Niro, is very surprising, because people think of Robert De Niro as like the big tough guy, like Godfather and Taxi Driver, but he really almost went into this method acting to really capture what a Parkinson's diseased patient would be like, and the mannerisms and the sort of body language they would have is really well done. It's really, you can really buy into De Niro being in this problem. And when you have both Robin Williams and Robert De Niro in the same room, they bring so much charm together that it's perfect, and just seeing the two of them work together is really well. I think you have Mr. McAllister in this movie, John Hurt. So he's kind of like another doctor that's there, and he's alright. I just wanted to point him out because it's Kevin's dad. I mean, come on, it's Mr. McAllister for Pete's sake, and he plays that doctor. He's like, well, technically we can't do this, and technically we can't do that. So you kind of he rubs off weird, where it's like, I don't know if we're supposed to like your character or if we are not supposed to like your character, but you definitely give off vibes that are you can definitely tell. There's well, so there's that. Apparently Marge Simpson's in this movie. It took me a while to realize this, and I was surprised, to be quite honest. Just random supporting actors, I guess, they brought up. But other than that, I would say the acting's really good. It's great. It's up there and everything. Especially I think the main focus, even though there's like all these like other supporting actors, and I'm not sure about the actors or actresses that were if they were real Parkinson's people or not, but I believe into some of these people that have the disease, like this one, like all these like people that really, I guess, went to the mindset, and I guess, like I said, like just like De Niro, the body language, the mannerisms they kind of do, and how like they really studied it in a sense, and I felt like they used actual people for a while. I was onto that belief, especially this one woman named Lucy. She has like she obviously not just her, but all these people can't move and can't really do anything without physical help except for the reflexes. The reflexes are still there. So here's Robin Williams' character throwing a baseball around or tossing a beach ball to all these people, these so-called like not diseased, but these unfortunate patients, and their reflexes are still there catching the ball. It's really interesting and sort of like not engaging, but it's just really fascinating in a way, in a sense. The music's great, especially when you have a score composer like Randy Newman, who's done movies like Toy Story and Monsters Inc. and probably half of the Pixar movies out there. So you have that. The only thing I would say that's kind of like very like picky, I guess, in a way about this movie is sort of towards the middle part where they find a cure for this disease, and then the people that are in the institute or in the hospital are like looking out and going out more, and they're appreciating the fact of, wow, we're seeing the world after like 20-something years, 30-something years and stuff like that, because their brain's been basically just fried. Like their brain's like a vegetable. So they finally get to experience stuff after so long, and how the world has changed. Like one person says that she thinks it's 1929 or 1939 or something like of the 1920s, when it's 1969 actually. And ironically enough, it's the summer of '69. So they're experiencing the world after like 30-something years, 20-something years, etc. And just seeing them light up is so amazing. And they're wanting to go outside. They're wanting to like just go out, go for a walk, and just be free. And you have this moment where they're like, well, we can't have you do that just yet on a technicality because this is still in the experimental phase, and we don't know if you guys are unstable. And there's an intense like moment where De Niro's character gets a little bit like unstable and kind of can't control his anger. But then again, you think to yourself, in a sense, he can't help it. He's had so much feelings and emotion and aggression and happiness and sadness all pent up for 20-something years, 30-something years, and he's a grown man. And now, because he was once a kid the last time he actually had a functioning brain, but now he's a grown man, and having all this like pent up emotions and aggression being one of them, you kind of see that he has a point to lash out, even though the doctors are like, well, this doesn't look good on his records and all, but you still can't help but feel for Robert De Niro, even for how, like, just, I guess, unstable he gets and how controlling it becomes, where he's, like, thinking, all the doctors don't care about us sort of situation. But it is one of those moments where they're kind of like, well, technically we can't do this, but they don't allow them to go outside or do anything like that. It's kind of like this moment where you realize, well, now they're kind of not pointing. That's where we get back to the John Hurt McAllister over here about, well, he plays off as this doctor's like, well, we can't do this because we can't afford it, or we can't do this because of that, and all these other things, and he's shooting down all these ideas, which kind of sucks. And it's not that it's a bad character, it's just kind of like, it feels like it's like this needs to be a necessary for it to be like, then I feel like they need to have this as a necessary cliche, just to kind of be like, all right, we need to have this, I guess, movie progress somewhere in some case, or have some sort of conflict. And it works, but it's just kind of like, really? Like, we're kind of doing this thing where they're not trusting the people after so long they've been up in this institute, and even everyone's kind of in agreement of that they've been pent up for a while. And I'm very conflicted on if it's a sort of a good spot or not, or if it's a sour spot. But I still like this movie overall. I think it's very underrated, without a doubt. The ending almost really had me in tears because of just, I don't want to give it away, but it's really hard to see happen in a sense because of how much effort and how much was put into this, I guess, experiment, and the outcome is this. It almost had me. It almost had me welled up. Honestly, I'm gonna give Awakenings an A. You know what? Yeah, I'll give it an A. I was gonna give it an A minus, but I'll give it an A. Definitely, like I said, an underrated Robin Williams movie. If it's, I don't know if it's overlooked or underlooked, but I just figured I wanted to talk about Awakenings. I literally just felt like watching it, and I felt like reviewing it. And I hope you guys liked it. But, Awakenings, have you seen it? What did you think of it? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please smash that button. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. I do awesome videos every day, if not every week. Make sure you ring that bell to be notified of new videos, new content, and all that and more. And make sure you share the video with your family and friends and check this all stuff out. Look out for more reviews, more top 10s, more gaming, more stuff like that, specifically more reviews. And leave your suggestions, leave your comments, and leave your requests down below of what's the next sort of request and everything. I'm looking into watching Invisible Man 2020, and I'm also looking into watching and reviewing Force of Nature. So look out for those reviews, and look out for a few other things along the way with gaming and top 10s and vlogs and all that fun stuff. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.